What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Super Cup of Joe. This is going to be my first spoiler review video, and it's for The Boys Season 2. I'll give you my quick spoiler-free thoughts first, then I'll let the people who haven't seen the show yet know when it's time to bounce. First, if you haven't seen Season 1 and you're planning on watching Season 1, you shouldn't be here. You should be watching Season 1. It's really good, funny, a superhero show for adults. Very hard R. This isn't Marvel or for kids, but it's still enjoyable. First season was a 9 out of 10 for me. I loved it. I thought the show was better than it was advertised. Characters, the actors and actresses were all playing, did a fantastic job. The show goes places I think no other show or like movie have the balls to go. The comics are more darker than the series. Like Kick-Ass, everyone liked the movie. The sequel, not so much. But the comic books for Kick-Ass were very graphic, and I think that's why the sequel suffered a lot, because the content it covered in the comics, they really like toned it down, either skipped over, rushed, or they just like kept it out of the movie. There's been dark movies in the past, but The Boys, they're pushing it. If you thought the first season was shocking, what happens to Huey's girlfriend, the Deep and Starlight, somebody's head popping, and the freaking plane in episode 4, season 2 is outrageous. I will say I've kind of become accustomed to all shows being released at once for binge. Back in the day when television was a thing, they worked shows being released weekly, build suspense. You can tell with a lot of these new shows that they're made for binge, especially if they're released on a streaming service. This season, all episodes should have been released at once. With the weekly release, you give me time to like think, let things settle with me, and like the hype train kind of goes down. Whereas if you released it all at once and I watched all the episodes in a row, I would have been in a constant state of like hype, and I would probably have gave this show like a 10 out of 10. Even though I loved it, I still had some little nitpicks. There's 2 story arcs I felt they could have split into separate seasons. This season should have focused more on one story, and then season 3 should have focused on the other part of the story. Both things were big enough to have their own season. The cast and characters of the seasons were great, some improving from last season, and some kind of took a back seat, felt like they were just there. I'm gonna start with the 7, and then I'll go into The Boys. Anthony Starr as Homelander is just gold. The man is flawless, playing this dickish version of Superman. In the comics, he's a piece of shit, but this season, he really wants to be loved by everyone. There's someone he actually cares about. The man really feels like he's doing a good job, but we see like what kind of job he's really doing. Something goes wrong and he's just like, oops, I'll talk more about him in the spoiler part. New addition Aya Cash as Stormfront. I liked her character, so I could hate her. In the comics, the character is actually a guy, but they went the female route for the show. Her ties with Homelander very wild, but I also didn't really feel or buy into it that much. I liked her backstory, and I felt like they could have expanded on it and made it a whole season. That's one of the story arcs I was talking about. I don't know what they're gonna do with her in season 3. Queen Maeve, I thought her arc was really good. I jumped out of my chair watching the last episode when she showed up. You see how she's struggling with the personal life and the superhero life, especially carrying some demons. Those demons get leaked. What Homelander does to her and kind of forces her to like do and like reveal, messed up. Sends her into a deep depression, but she finds her way out. Black Noir was more involved in this season, but his reasoning and arc didn't really go anywhere, and it didn't really feel like it had a purpose. A-Train and the Deep, those, they still have a few scenes, and they take the very back seat. They don't have anything to do. A-Train has a little more to do. And the stuff for the Deep, I didn't really care. But it's weird, like, you see like when he shows like his like whatever, like the fins or like the skip, it was just like, ugh, like, yeah. Starlight, I really liked this season. She was a badass, kind of like Jessica Jones, undercover detective working with the boys. As for the boys themselves, they all show good character development. I'm not gonna say anything about Butcher till I get to the spoiler talk. Huey stands up for himself in this season more, and I like his relationship with Starlight. However, he still does feel like he's like kind of useless amongst that group, like he shouldn't be there. Frenchie and Kimiko had some good backstory, connections with new characters. Speaking of new characters, Shawn Ashmore plays Lamplighter, a superhero with pyrokinetic powers. Funny, he played Iceman in the X-Men movies, then here he's playing someone with the fiery abilities. I would have liked to see more of him. He was just a guest appearance in this season. There's 2 Espositos in this show. Returning Jennifer, the CIA deputy from season 1. Giancarlo Stan Edgar, the head of Vought. When he's on screen, he's very good. Hope to see him more in season 3. They didn't do much with him. Overall, this season was good. It was a good world building, tackled family, race. It's all about business part side of politics. You gotta look good for the people, but the way you do it and like do stuff behind the scenes, they're pieces of shit. Introduce a lot of new characters. I've done some research online and I've seen there's tons of characters they haven't yet to release. They can probably go to like 5 or 6 seasons with this show. Season 3 is already on the way. Supernatural's Jensen Ackles is set to play a character named Soldier Boy, not you know, so that's exciting. I think season 1 was a little bit better, more focused, more condensed. Here, there's a lot of storylines, few characters I expected more from. I didn't like the weekly release, but I'm still gonna give the same scores as first season, a 9 out of 10. Now, spoiler talk. If you haven't seen season 2 or even season 1, click out the video now. Okay, so Homelander in the last episode scared the shit out of me. The part when he came back in the house, like when his son was gone and the soldiers were all there, and then you see him like laser the one guy in half, and he comes back, finds him in the forest, and he's blood all over him. Like, I had no idea what he was gonna do. I was so so scared for everyone. I was like, holy shit, I don't know what this guy's gonna do. He's gonna lose it. You can see in the press conference, Maeve and Starlight are there, like he has to act like buddies, but you see when the camera's like zooming in on him and the audio's tuned out, you can just see in his face, like his eyes, he's pissed. He's like, season 3, I'm killing everyone. He honestly could have taken, I don't know, I thought the man had like super speed. He could have took the phone away from Maeve. I don't know if somebody else had it, but I don't know, it gave it a little too easy. Even when he had the vision of killing like all those people at the rally, that scared the shit out of me. I was like, whoa, he did not just do that. And then it was like, swoop. I was like, oh, okay. The arc with his son also could have, that's the other part. That could have been another season more focused on him and like the mom. Like how did the mom escape? By the way, why didn't she escape a long time ago if she could have got away that easily? And that's why I said Butcher and Becca, I didn't really care that much. Like that could have, again, that's why I think it should have been a 3rd season or a 4th season, because if she wasn't gonna die, I would have took Butcher out of the series, because he got what he wanted, you know. He would have settled down, got to talk with his father, had some time with his dog, his mom. We'll see how it goes season 3. Stormfront as a Nazi, they could have expanded on it. I like that part of the story. That could have been a whole season on its own. Glad Homelander didn't fully side with Stormfront. Like when she was talking to his son Ryan, she started talking about white genocide and he was just looking at her like, bitch, what? Her getting beat up by all the girls when they were like jumping, like kicking her and stuff, that was straight from the comic. Boys were like jumping, like man version of Stormfront, and they killed him in the comics, but in the show she gets away, but then she gets toasted by freaking Ryan. So that's why I was like, you just wasted her. Like, what's the point of that? So unless she can regenerate, I don't know. I thought she killed Kimiko, and when she snapped her neck, I was like, I didn't exhale until Maeve showed up. And then I saw her like get snapped back. I was like, okay, thank God. I loved the last episode. Lamplighter killing himself. Damn it. He would have been a cool addition to work with the boys. The part when they're in the hospital and that one suit with the wrapped around milk. Jesus Christ. Black Noir being taken out by the peanut allergy. Apparently the actor in real life is allergic to peanuts, so they did that as a little inside joke. But is he like taken out for good, or is it for that season? Like, I don't know what else he can do. Like, he was just Edgar's like personal like hitman guy, but he didn't even do anything really. In the comics, he's actually a clone of Homelander, and he was actually the one that raped Becca, not Homelander, but they switched it around. The Newman girl, she popped everyone's head in the courtroom, and she popped the guy at the end, but was she the one who blew up CIA girl's head? That was just out of nowhere. I don't know. Now Huey's gonna work with her, so I feel like Huey's gonna like low-key become, I know it's to him like a low-key work with the villains, you know. Well, I don't even know, is she a villain or not, or is she working with a bot, or is she like a third, you know, party? Like, I don't know. That was my review for The Boys season 2. I enjoyed it. Can't wait for season 3. Have you guys seen it? What do you guys think? Thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed my review, please hit the like and subscribe button. Check out my channel for other content. You kind of one another. Take care of yourselves inside and out, and I will see you guys next time.
The legend will never die.